Welcome everyone. Today we're doing a practice of yoga based on the idea of balance. And we are focusing on the word ahimsa, which is one of the yamas of yoga, one of the philosophies of yoga, which means non-harming. Ahimsa is non-harming. Today, we may find that we are very challenged in balance in our daily lives, in balance in our own body, in balance in our emotional wherewithal. And we can feel a little bit powerless right now through this quarantine. And powerlessness leads to aggression, like frustration, anger. And it also can lead to a withdrawal where we feel depressed or victimized. And even though I practice yoga and meditation, I also have found myself during this time at different points in these weeks that have happened that I have felt frustrated. I have felt a little depressed. And what I find is very helpful is coming down to the mat again and letting my body decide what it needs to do to feel better, just letting it move. And then there are other three things that Deborah Adele talks about in her book, The Yamas and Niyamas. And you can create a shift out of the frustration, anger, depression syndrome by practicing gratitude in the day. So simply by changing your thinking pattern, instead of focusing so much on yourself and how you're feeling at the moment and going down into that hole, to find for a minute some gratitude in your moment. Find gratitude about what feels good. What are you thankful for today? What things bring you joy, even today, even in our quarantine space? And then the other thing is trusting in the moment. Even though we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know when it's going to happen, we don't know where things are going to be changing. If we can get to a point where we can just trust in this moment right now that things are happening the way they should be, that we are going to be safe, that we are going to be okay, that will help us also come back into balance. And then the other thing is to also think outwardly and focus on other people. How can we support people in our house? How can we allow them a little extra patience when they're feeling frustrated? Reaching out to friends, which I'm sure people are doing a lot through Zoom, through walking outdoors perhaps. So those three things can really help us come into balance. Today in our practice, we're going to be doing a physical balance and experimenting with balancing on the left and the right and how that feels. We're also going to be balancing by beginning with a calm, connecting practice into the body and into the breath, and then building into a more strengthening practice, and then relaxing again down into a final savasana at the end. So please join me. And we're going to start at a standing place here. Feet are hip distance wide on the mat. And we're going to lift the heels and replace the heels on the mat. Just kind of feel your feet pressing in. Lift the toes and spread them and press the feet into the mat. And as we do that, we begin to connect into the earth, really feeling all the parts of the foot. And then engaging into the leg muscles, feeling the kneecaps lifted a little. and lengthening through the spine, all the way through to the crown of the head. We can release the shoulders down, letting go of any tension in the shoulders, perhaps bringing our hands facing forward, our palms facing forward, and then that in turn rotates our shoulders back and down. So let's take a few breaths. Let's take about 5 breaths to just connect into the body. Notice how we're feeling today. Notice the connection with the earth and the lengthening of the spine up towards the crown of the head. As we expand the belly out on an inhale, and on our exhale, we draw the belly back in towards the spine. Slow inhales and long, slower exhales. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Relaxing any tension in the shoulders. Let's circle the arms up on this next inhale. Reaching tall. Exhale the hands back down. Inhaling up. Gazing up. Exhaling down. On this next time, we're going to stay up. Reaching up, and let's extend with the left arm and then the right arm and the left. Stretching through each side body. Feeling those the rib cage expanding. And we inhale and we exhale. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time on each side. Good. And then let's clasp the hands, turn them inside out towards the ceiling. Stretch up, lengthen, straight arms. Feel the feet pressing into the floor. Draw in the belly, hollowing in the belly. Big inhale. And on the exhale, let's release the hands and hinge forward halfway. Inhaling, sweeping up. Exhaling, swan dive forward. And one more time. And exhale into Uttanasana, forward fold, where we're going to stay. If you have a block or some prop here that you would like to place your hands on for support, you can. I have a block. You can have 3 different heights to this block. If you have one there, just find the height that is best for you. Let your head drop down. Shake it right and left. We're hinged at the hip. We're feeling some stretch through the hip bones. Our back is flat. Let's circle sweep up, inhaling all the way up. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lift. And this time, let's just drop the hands wide open, palms up, shoulder blades relaxing down our back. Good. Reaching out somewhat. And then let's turn to the left, a little bit of a twist here. Feet stay planted. And then we come back to center on an inhale. And we exhale to the right. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the right. Trying to keep your hands parallel or, right in line with each other. And come back to center. And exhale to the other side. And inhale back to center. Let's drop the arms and roll the shoulders. Alternating shoulders perhaps. Let your knees be soft. You can even move this movement into the hips. Let it rock. Let it be flexible. Whatever feels good to your body here. Let it be moving and loose. Shake it up. Shaking knees, shaking hands. Let's bring the hands forward, up and down. I'm bending my knees as well. Side to side with your hands. Out in front, out to the side wide, up overhead. And let's swan dive down again. And just stay here and let the head drop down. Nice deep breath, long, slow exhale. Let's slide the hands halfway up and gaze out. And exhale back down, letting the head drop, the crown of head to the floor. Inhaling halfway up, hinging at the hip here. Exhaling, crown of head to the floor. Softening through the backs of the knees. Breathing and noticing. Just enjoying what this posture is bringing into the body. Then I'd like for you to make your way down to the mat. And we're going to lay down on our backs. If you have a block, you may want to have a block handy. And if you don't have one, that's okay. You don't need to have one. So we're bending our knees here. Allowing our spine to be placed and relaxed into the mat. Our shoulders wide. We can bring our hands out to the side slightly, maybe at an angle with our palms up. And let the chin come in, hug in just a little bit, chin towards chest. Not a lot. We don't want to close the throat off, but we just want to lengthen the back of the neck. Take some breaths here and notice how the muscles along the spine are beginning to relax towards the floor. Finding gravity as their friend. This is a great way to connect with your body when you're feeling out of balance. Lying down. It also grounds you with the earth. Many times when we're feeling out of balance, it's because we're not grounded. We're not grounded into the earth element, into the energy of the earth. Even going outside and laying down in the grass or even walking barefoot in the grass is very helpful. Let's bring both knees in towards the chest. Hands on kneecaps. We're going to just experiment here with how this feels. We can draw the knees in and push them away, or widen the knees out to the side to feel the stretch in the hips. Maybe you'd like to make some circles with your knees here. Just find what feels good to you to connect into the body a little bit, getting a little bit of gentle movement. If we haven't been doing yoga for a few days, then we may need to just move slowly and just notice how our body's feeling. Let's press the feet to the ceiling here. We can hold the backs of our legs if we'd like, and we're going to rotate the ankles. keeping the head on the floor. Rotate both directions. And then we're going to press the heels towards the ceiling and then point the toes and press and point back and forth. We're feeling the muscles on the shins and the muscles on the calves contract and expand. Shake those legs. Let them wiggle. You know, let that wiggle come all the way down into the torso. Notice the shoulders can wiggle back and forth, moving on the mat, even our head and neck. Just creating a little bit of juiciness in the joints here. We don't need to be rigid and unmovable. Let's bring our hands into this and stretch and just kind of wiggle the hands, wiggling the feet. And then release all of it. Let's extend the legs out. Take a couple deep breaths. Just enjoy that. We're getting in touch with the body. Let's reach the hands over our head and press the heels the opposite direction, lengthening through each vertebra. We're going to more with the right foot and the right hand in opposite directions, relaxing the left side. And then come back to center and then press out in opposite directions with the left heel and the left hand, relaxing the right side. And let's do that back and forth at your own pace, just noticing how that feels, stretching and relaxing. And a yawn. That means I'm getting lots of oxygen in the body. Let's bring our right ankle to our left knee. Coming into a pigeon pose, really working now into some of these muscles, tight muscles, maybe the psoas, the hip flexors, down in here, the inner thigh. And if this is enough stretch for you on the right leg, on the right side, with your left foot on the mat, then just stay there. We're imagining and pressing with this right knee away from us. So we're pressing it away just with the power of the leg muscles. We're not pushing with our hand. And if you'd like a little bit more of a stretch, you can lift this left foot off of the mat and press the knee up against the ankle. You can hold behind this left leg if you'd like. Breathing, noticing how the body's feeling here. This side for me is very tight. I notice that I don't go quite as far in my flexibility with the right side after a hip replacement here. And let's release that left foot, bring the right foot off of the knee, and we're going to go to the other side. Again, just noticing here with your right foot down on the mat, your left ankle on the knee, just noticing how this feels as you press the left knee away from your body. Not using hands, just the muscles of the leg. We never want to feel any pinching or pain in our postures. And if you do, then I want you to just move out of that posture or make it a softer posture, not as much effort into it. Again, if you'd like to, for more intensity, lift the right foot off of the mat and press the right knee against the ankle. We also, in our practice, we let go of expectation and judgments and competitions. And we move and breathe and stay in the present moment with our body. Let's release that foot back down and bring the ankle off of the knee. We're walking our feet in towards the buttocks just a little ways. And here, lifting from the base of the spine first, each vertebra, just a little spot off of the floor as we lift the hips. Each vertebra comes up off of the mat. We raise the hips towards the ceiling into bridge pose. Coming up onto our shoulders, we can even maybe walk the shoulders towards each other as we lift higher. And we're going to hold here and breathe. You can notice that your belly rises and falls with the breath. And on the next exhale, let's lower back down very slowly. Widening the shoulders again as we go down. Slowly, slowly, each place, each vertebra has a spot here on the mat. And then we relax there. Notice how that felt. Let's move again into bridge, lifting at your own pace, rising up. And lowering down slowly. This next time we're going to bring the hands into the mix as well. So as we rise up with the spine, each vertebra coming off the floor, our hips rising up, our hands come up as well, reaching for the ceiling and all the way over the head onto the mat or over onto the floor above the mat. And then we exhale back down, bringing the hands with us. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhaling up. And exhaling down through the nose. Listening for the breath, using that ujjayi breath, whispering breath. Then let's release the legs, relax the body. Maybe we just jiggle it a little bit. And then notice for a moment as we breathe here. Take 2 nice deep breaths. Notice the benefits of that posture. And from here, I invite you to roll over onto your side and support yourself with your hands as you come up. We're going to come up onto all fours. If you have a blanket and you would like to pad your knees, place your blanket down. Make sure you get the wrinkles out of it. And then come to all fours here. Place your hands wide as your shoulders and right underneath your shoulders. And then just take maybe an inch or 2 in front of your shoulders with your hands. Taking a little bit of the crease that way out of your wrists. A little bit of tension out of the wrists. So from here, I'd like for you to sit back towards your heels into balasana or child pose. If you have a block, you can place a block under your head. If you want to bring your hands and stack your hands on the floor or on a block to support your head, you can. And I want you to just sit back towards your heels to wherever you can and breathe. Close your eyes to connect internally with your body. Notice where the breath comes. Where do you notice it expanding? Is it in your low back? Is it in the upper part of the shoulders? Is it through the center of your belly? Just noticing. And we're going to remove the block. Come back up onto all fours. And then arch the spine towards the ceiling. We draw the belly up and in, squeezing the air out, dropping the head down into cat, making a cat back. And then we inhale, tilting the tailbone, looking up into cow. Exhale, cat, arching. Inhaling, moving the spine the opposite way, more towards the floor. So in this way, we become a little more flexible in the spine, bringing synovial fluid into the vertebra, bathing it with fluid. Good, and let's come back to center and just notice. And then turn and look back to your left foot. Just turn and look back at it. And then inhale back to our center. Then exhale and turn to the right foot and look back. Inhale to center. And let's do that a few more times. Squeezing into the side body as we turn. Helping with our digestion here. Squeezing some internal organs. This is cleansing to the body. When we come back to center, let's move into a balance pose now. Extending the right toes out on the mat. I'm going to move my blanket up a little bit. Right toes are out, pointed down on the floor. And we're going to reach with the opposite arm. So our left arm reaches out, our eyes gaze down on the mat. If our balance is pretty sure and stable here with the toe down, let's see how we do with raising the foot and pressing through the heel, keeping the arm and the leg at hip distance height. We're breathing. We're staying stable, engaging into the core, using those core muscles that wrap around for balance. Release, hand and knee arrive at the same time. Let's try the other side, extending the left toes out. Reach the right arm. Notice our balance on this side, it might be different. Stabilizing here. And lifting that left leg, pressing through the heel and reaching with the right hand. There's a lot of dynamic energy between the whole body, between the hand and the foot. We keep breathing. We're centered and grounded through the left hand and the right knee. And we arrive back at the mat at the same time, hand and knee. Now let's extend the other side, and you move at your pace, back and forth, inhaling up and exhaling back down. If your balance is a challenge today and you want to just work with just the hands, that's fine. You can alternate just hands, or you could alternate just feet. So you can try what is best for you, or all of those parts separately if you'd like. So we're building strength through the core. We're engaging the breath with the movement. The next time you come back down, let's sit back into child pose again, or balasana. Again, it's your choice how to handle your head. If you want to stack your fists, support your head, or use a block. And just breathe, relax, and notice. Another thing I want to tell you about here in balasana is you can have your knees together, sitting back on your heels, or you might want to bring your knees wide, your feet touching, and have a little bit more space for your torso here. So you choose your balasana according to what is best for your body. Noticing how you feel. Let's reach the hands out. Wide fingers on the mat, straight arms, and we're going to lift up and come over the top of those hands into kneeling plank, engaging the belly so that we're nice and strong here. Exhaling back, keeping the hands where they are. We sit back and then we inhale forward again into plank pose and exhale child pose. Warming up the shoulders in this way. Really pressing into the arms, engaging the shoulder blades. Next time we come forward, let's hug the elbows into the rib cage, lower down and lift back up. Just a little mini push-up, a tiny mini push-up, not all the way down. Lower and lift. And exhale back. Moving with your breath. Your breath is going to support you in this pose. If you find it difficult, make sure you're breathing into a rhythm. Inhale forward. Exhale. Bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, child pose. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, kneeling plank. Exhale, dip. Inhale, lift. Exhale, child pose. And let's stay here in our child pose, whether it's wide knee child pose or whether your knees are together. And just take a few breaths here again. Good, and we're going to come back to all fours. Sit up tall onto our knees if we're able. Let's bring our hands right underneath our armpits. Bring the thumbs up high here, the fingers under the breastbone, and lower the shoulders down. Okay? And press them back and lift the heart towards the ceiling, lower the shoulders back down. We're going to tuck the chin in slightly here and look up. So in other words, we're not lifting the chin all the way towards the ceiling and squeezing the back of our neck. We're going to tuck the chin slightly and look up. So we have a nice full upper body opening, heart opening. Good, and release. Relax the arms down, shake them out. We can also clasp our hands together behind us, straighten the arms, rotate the shoulder blades back, and stand tall here. Tucking in the chin a little bit, gazing forward this time. Shoulder blades squeezing behind us. So this is a really good practice to help with our posture, which then of course helps with our balance. We tend to have shoulders that slope forward, and if we practice this opening of the heart area here, the shoulders dropping down behind us, then we can walk a little taller, a little stronger, because it requires a little bit more core work here. Let's release those hands, shake out the arms. Good. From here, we're going to make our way towards standing pose in whatever way you'd like. I'm curling my toes under, and I'm standing here. I'm going to move the blanket out of the way. And I'd like for us to bring our feet into a straddle position. If you have a block, you can place it in the middle here. So we're preparing here for moonflower and sunflower, warming up even a little further. We're going to inhale up and exhale, elbows into rib cage, knees pointing towards toes. Inhale up. And notice that the knees are not moving over the toes, they're staying over the ankles. So we have a good alignment. And our back is straight. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose as we inhale up and we exhale down. This can be an aerobic workout where our heart begins to beat a little more, a little faster, pumping blood through the body, bringing fresh oxygen everywhere. We're going to reach up this time, reaching tall, and hinge forward with a flat back. Scoop up flowers, toss them. We call this sunflower. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. The flower is blooming in this beautiful sun and rain that we have, this warm weather that we have here in Seattle. Working through the core, the third chakra, the solar plexus, and the second chakra. Let's move into moonflower. This is first and second chakra here. Our first chakra is the base of our spine, and it extends down into the feet, and we ground into the earth in that way. It's our connection to earth, where we can then bloom by staying stable in the earth. Let's lift up and hinge forward into sunflower. And then I encourage you to move and breathe. You can alternate between sunflower and moonflower and just enjoy this movement practice and this breath work in whatever way you want. And then let's try moving a little free form. Change it up a little bit. Move it a little bit. Maybe your weight moves over one leg and then over another leg. Let your body move in whatever way feels good. Kind of enjoy it. Explore the space around you with your hands. This is all balance. We're balancing here. Reaching up and over, perhaps. Moving with your breath and whatever you decide to do. We're staying grounded through the feet. We can reach down and back and lift up. Whatever feels good. Be fluid with the movements. And just have fun. Balancing, staying grounded through the feet. And let's come back. Hands at our legs. Straightening the legs. Still in straddle. Just stay here for a moment and breathe. Notice how the body feels. If it's warmer, let's slide down now and place our hands either on the floor if you'd like, or on a block. I'm going to widen my feet just a little more. I'm going to straighten my legs and straighten my arms and press back just a little bit into the hips. Let's see how that feels. So we're getting a big stretch on the backs of the legs and into the inner thigh here. If you'd like, you can bend your elbows now and let your head drop down towards the block or towards the floor. Let's shake your head no and yes. Letting the arms bend and then straightening the arms and gazing out in front of you. And then bending the arms, letting the head drop down towards the floor. And then straightening arms and gazing out in front of you. Let's do that 2 more times. Good. And then while we're here, we're going to place our right hand on the block or on the floor and sweep the left arm up towards the ceiling. If that is difficult for you, or if it feels constricted through the shoulder, or you're healing a shoulder, you can bring your hand to your waist here and look up. We're still pressing the left shoulder back and down, looking up. Straight arm on the right hand side. And let's bring that left arm back down. Place it in the center, either on the floor or the block, and we'll sweep the right arm up, reaching fingertips towards the ceiling, or placing our hand at our waist and rotating that right shoulder back and away from our ear. Breathing here, noticing how this feels. Can your breath move smoothly in and out? If it is a labored breath, then you want to decrease the intensity of this stretch. And let's release that hand down. Let's move one more time to each side. Gazing up. Exhale that left hand down and sweep the right arm up. Breathing and release back down. Bring the block with you if you have one. We're going to pivot and rotate our left foot towards the end of the mat. Pivot our back foot as well. And we are standing here in a long lunge. Let me place the block on this side so you can see. So you can either bring your left hand onto your left thigh, or you can place your hand on a block down here. And we're going to reach forward and inhale up and back. And reach forward, inhale up and back. Forward, sweep up and back. Forward, sweep up and back. And then this time, bring the right hand to the left thigh. Release this hand off of your block. And we're going to bring the left hand to our waist and we're going to turn. So a big balance here. Our back foot, heel is up. We're turning to the left. Staying centered. Left foot is grounded in the floor. And let's come back. And we're going to walk our way through the center, pivot our foot on the other side, and our back foot is lifted. Placing the block, we're going to reach forward and around, and reach forward and around, and reach forward and around. And one more. And two more. Good. And from here, we're going to bring the hand to the thigh, the left hand to the right thigh, and we're going to bring the right hand to the waist, and we're going to turn. Really a lot of core strength here. Breathing. Really feeling the muscles in the legs working. And we come back to center. Let's step forward. Forward fold. Circle sweep all the way up into standing. Bring the hands together here. Bring them down to the heart, and we're going to sit back into chair pose. Circle sweep up and chair. Circle sweep up and chair. And let's stand tall, bring the hands to the heart. And I'd like you to take just a moment here with your eyes closed, allowing your breath to regulate, tuning into your heartbeat. And then thinking about something that you are grateful for today. Expressing that silently in your heart. Something that may bring you joy. You have gratitude. Remembering this is a wonderful way to find balance in your life. Knowing that this moment is complete as it is. This moment is pure and it is full. Trusting in whatever this moment of now is presenting to you. Good. And let's try another balance here. I'm going to place a block here in front. We're going to move into a Warrior 3 balance. We'll start on standing on the left side. We're going to circle sweep up. Exhale down, bring the hands down to the block. The block is in front of your feet. We're standing now, going to be standing on our left foot. We're going to extend the right foot out and lift it up. Now, if you would like, you can bring your hands off of this block or off of the floor and bring them out to the side and find your balance here. Press through the right foot to the far wall. Keep this left knee slightly bent, just slightly. Shine your heart forward and release the hands and bring the foot back. Circle sweep up and hands back to heart. Just pause here and notice the body. Let's circle sweep up again. Exhale, swan dive down. Place the hands on the block or on the floor. And this time we're going to press back with our left foot. And on this side, I need 2 blocks for my right foot to balance. That's fine if you need 2 blocks. And from here, if you want, you can take your hands off the blocks and come wide with your hands, shining your heart forward, breathing. And we'll come back down, bring that foot back down, circle sweep up, and hands at heart. Breathing, just noticing, quieting the mind. Good. From here, we're going to circle sweep up and swan dive down. We're going to place the hands on the mat and step back into our first down dog. Wide fingers on the mat. Feet are hip distance wide. My knees are bent, however, you may not be able to tell it with these pants that are loose on me. So bent knees, lengthening the spine. The hips are high. The heart is shining maybe towards the feet on the floor. You can pedal the feet if you'd like, stretching through the backs of the legs in down dog. Now, sometimes people call down dog a resting pose. I'll tell you, when you're first starting yoga, this is not a resting pose for most people. So just practice it. Just lengthen it, maybe 1 extra breath each time you try it, or 5 extra breaths. We're going to lift one leg up in the air, right leg up in the air, still staying in down dog, 3-legged down dog here. Release that foot down, and let's place the left foot up. And release that foot down. Let's bend the knees. Come into child pose. Your choice of where you place your hands and whether or not you have a wide knee child pose. Find what is best supportive for your body right now. from child pose, we're going to make our way onto our backs once again. Bending your knees, allowing your spine to be long and placed onto the mat. Widen your shoulders a little bit. Maybe your arms come out to an angle with your palms up, just a very relaxed spot for a moment, for just a few breaths here. Just noticing what the body has, how the body has reacted to the work that you've done so far. Find that gratitude again. I'm grateful for my yoga practice because it makes me aware of my body parts that I haven't paid attention to for a while. It helps me to relax, helps me to find gratitude actually in this moment. From here, I'd like you to just lift the feet off of the floor, bring your knees and your ankles together here. You can reach your arms out to the side a little farther if you'd like, straight out from you. And we're going to lower the knees over to the right as we keep our shoulders and our head on the mat and our eyes facing the ceiling. Our legs are hovering over the floor on the right side. So we're having a nice twist here in the spine. And slowly we'll roll back to the center. And then slowly we'll roll the hips over to the left side. Trying to keep the shoulders on the mat. If the shoulders and the whole side of the body is trying to roll up off of the mat, then don't allow your knees to rock over so far. Okay, so keep the shoulders and the head on the mat. It's okay if you don't go as far because you're getting that stretch here. Inhale back to center and over to the right. And you're going to notice, I'm sure, a difference between your right and left sides. Which way is tighter or more limited than the other side. And just move and breathe here, enjoy. And we'll come back into our center again. And I invite you to find your toes, if you can, your big toes with your hands. And we're going to lift the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Let our hands hang off of our big toes and come into happy baby. Wide legs. We're rocking from side to side like a happy baby would. And we're getting a wonderful back massage. This is a yogi's back massage. We can thank nature for being there and providing everything we need from her. Be grateful in that way. Knowing that whenever we just lay down on the grass, she is willing to take in whatever we can't use, whatever we don't want, whatever stress we need to get rid of. It will be absorbed and transformed. And let's release the feet. Relax the arms. Let's straighten the legs out into our final Savasana now. If you have a blanket and you want to cover up, take a moment to do that. Maybe you want socks on, just take a moment. Prepare yourself for this wonderful time to culminate our practice. And as we breathe and lay here on the floor, we can begin to notice if our mind is a little more calm. If our body itself is more relaxed. Allowing the breath to come in and go out without any help or any control from us. Relaxing the feet and the ankles, the knees. Relaxing the back of the knees and the thighs. Letting go of any tight muscles that we're noticing that may be gripping just from habit. Our hips are heavy and soft and relaxed on the floor. Our low back and middle and upper back are relaxed. Shoulders are heavy and allowing gravity to hug them in. Our chin and our jaw is loose, clenching. We're allowing our lips to be slightly parted. Softening the skin on the face, allowing our tongue too to be heavy on the bottom of our mouth. Perhaps taking a swallow to relax the throat. Our eyes are rolled back in their socket. And we may feel some tingling in the scalp. We have really balanced the body, and the balance to the different movements of the body, so that it can find relaxation and an emotional balance as well. Feeling a little more calm and perhaps a little more peaceful. With ahimsa, the term for non-harming. Begin to feel our fingers and our toes. We wiggle. Coming back to our bodies, noticing us laying on the floor, connecting with earth. And I invite you to roll over on your side and Gradually make your way to a comfortable seated place so we can close our class. We can bring our hands to our heart now. Just take a couple breaths. Remember your gratitude. Maybe think about ways that you might be able to connect with others and help someone else today in their struggle to find their balance. Hopefully not a struggle, but perhaps just a method to find balance through gratitude, being okay in the moment, and helping others. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. Please subscribe to this channel and leave me a comment if you would. I love to see comments. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.